Hello again, beautiful artists, and welcome back to another episode of Paint Along with Skye. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Skye, and I post beginning level acrylic tutorials here on YouTube every Saturday. So hit subscribe if you'd like to join the fun and paint along. Hit the bell icon to be notified when I post a new video. So happy Easter weekend, artists. I have an appropriately Easter themed painting for us today. We're going to be painting some Easter eggs, and this is a very, very simple and fun acrylic tutorial for beginners for ages of 1 to 99 here. So really fun family friendly activity this week, and it's just going to be so fun to get creative with these colors. I love pastel Easter colors, and I can't wait to see what everyone comes up with. I'm going to be using my 3 standard brushes for today's painting. So I have a square brush, this medium size pointed brush, and a small detail brush, getting those in my water cup off the side of the screen. I have my paper towels there. The colors that I'm going to be using for the background part of today's painting, we're going to do in 2 parts today's painting. So I have the primary colors to start, so yellow, red, and blue, and then also a little bit of my phthalo green, my favorite color, so pretty, and then also a fair amount of white because we're doing pastels, and a little bit of black. If you'd like to see a full materials list of all the brands and types of materials that I use, check the description box below. It'll take you to my website and show you everything that you need to paint along. Okay, let's go ahead and jump in. We're going to start by blocking out where our eggs are going to be. So I'm going to grab my smallest brush for that, and I'm going to be sketching these eggs out in the color that I'm going to be painting the background in with. So for my case, it's going to be a light yellow, but you could certainly do really any pastel color for your background color, and that is totally fine. So I'm going to take a little bit of white here and a little bit of yellow, just to create a pretty sunny yellow, just very faint amount of yellow in there. We don't need it to be very bold because these are going to be sketch lines that we're going to kind of adjust as we fill in. So let's go ahead and start with our center egg. Now, the way that I like to do this, it was a little bit tricky when I was doing my first ones to block out the eggs. So you don't want to go too big, otherwise you won't have space for all 3. But you don't want to go too small either, because they're, your main focal point of your painting. So what I'm doing instead is I'm going to start with ovals, like so. And then I'm going to kind of adjust them as they need to be. Okay, so I'm kind of starting small. And then this middle egg, I'm gonna have it sort of taper a little bit on the top, because we know how eggs, are a little bit tapered on one side and then a little bit more flared out on the other side. So once you have sort of that main oval shape, then you can kind of adjust it as need be. And then on these other 2, on the sides, I'm going to do the opposite. So these eggs are going to be upside down. And that's what's going to give me my sort of interesting artistic Easter egg composition here. Very technical placement of these guys. So as you see, I can bring my sketch line out a little bit because I'm just going to be filling in those main colors. I really prefer to do this kind of thing with paint. Sometimes you'll see artists use pencil. And you could use pencil, but a lot of times it's really hard to cover the pencil lines with the acrylic paint, whereas paint is quite easy to cover with more paint. And particularly when you're using a very light color like today's light yellow, it's going to be a breeze to get these filled in once we have our shapes like so. And I think I did pretty good with my shapes today. 3rd time's a charm. I always like to do a few copies of the painting before I teach. Just to figure out, all the bumps along the way. So we figured out how to create this composition a little bit more balanced. That's looking good. Okay. And now I'm going to grab my big brush. I'm going to mix up a lot more of that light yellow because now I'm going to fill in the whole background, everything that's not my eggs. And I'm going to now just choose this outside line as the kind of sketch line that I'm going to keep. Okay, and then once we fill in our eggs with their beautiful colors, we'll see their shapes even easier. So if you are painting along today, I would love to see your work. And I've created a Facebook group where my students can share their art, whether it be from painting along with me on the weekends or from your own studio and imagination. I would love to see your art, particularly from this fun Easter tutorial on this lovely Easter weekend. Would love to see everyone's gorgeous Easter eggs. If you want to post that over in the art club, there's also a link to join that in the description box below. That's totally free as well. There's no charge to join that. Just gotta have a Facebook account. And we are growing rapidly over there. So shout out to anyone that's already in the club. I love to see your art. You inspire me every day. Okay, so now we're just being patient, and I am trying to fill this background in with all the same solid colors. So I don't want too much variation in my light yellow here. So we're just going with a nice, simple pastel yellow background, nothing too tricky today. And as we adjust our eggs, or as we fill in our eggs, we can adjust rather. Okay, so we're just getting this light yellow filled in to where we think we're gonna go with our eggs, but everything's gonna kind of get refined in the process. Very pretty. Nice, soft, light yellow, a little bit lighter than I thought I was gonna go, but I'm gonna go with it. I like the pastel colors quite a lot. And a little bit of water always mixed into the paint helps everything go nice and smooth. You want to make sure that that paint is filling in that gorgeous canvas texture. There we go. Okay, and now for my eggs, I'm going to fill them in now as well. But I think I'm going to downgrade brush sizes to my medium-sized brush for a little bit more control. Okay, my middle egg I'm going to start with here. I'm going to use pink to fill that egg in. So a little bit of red and a little bit of white mixed together. If you'd like to learn more about color theory and how to blend specific colors, we're going to be doing a lot of different colors today, working with just our primaries. I've actually created a course on color theory that shows you how to mix all the different tones from your primaries, and then also, or all the different hues from your primaries, and then also tints, tones, and shades. So check out the description box below. There is a discount code for my students. It's Paintalong, Paintalong on Udemy, and you can get that course for $12.99. It's usually $34.99. Okay, so with this pink, I'm going to go ahead and take this in here. So this pink is technically a tint of red. Okay, so I'm tinting my red here and then just using it to now fill in that base shape. Looking good. I have more courses planned for the future on layering and how light affects our composition, but color theory 101 is something that all artists really should have in their knowledge bank. And I, teach a lot of different colors with my classes here, so that's something that students have been wanting for a long time. So hopefully everyone likes it. I'd love to hear feedback on that class as well. It's my first course. It's on Udemy and Skillshare. So it's my first course for those platforms. Okay, so I'm filling in this pink all the way out to my yellow. And then I'm just going to kind of try to finesse my shape a little bit and make sure that I like it and that it looks sufficiently egg-like. So a little bit of water always in the paint helps it go nice and smooth. And we're just going to carefully finesse our egg shape. Right, and you don't want to have any gaps from where your pink meets your yellow or whatever your colors are. Okay, nice seamless transition there. I tend to hold my breath for things like this. But not when I have to keep speaking, which is a little bit of a challenge sometimes. Not as good at talking and painting as I am at just one or the other. Okay, for the other eggs, we're gonna do things slightly different. So I'm gonna create some sort of multi-toned, multicolored eggs here. And this guy is going to be a chevron pattern. And I'm gonna do that with orange, blue, and then my beautiful phthalo green. And then over here, we're going to be using orange and purple. So we're gonna be doing some color mixing here. So again, also just keep in mind too, if color mixing is tricky, which it can be, you can also just buy colors right out of the bottle. So I'm starting with some purple here. So I'm taking some red and I'm adding a little bit of blue, and then I'm going to add some white, and you'll see here, I'm going to get a nice purple shade. It takes a little bit of practice sometimes. You want to make sure that you're using quality paints here too, that have a lot of pigment in them. And then once you have a purple that you like, I'm going to go over here, just going to do the bottom part of this egg, like so. I'm going to do a quick line kind of across the bottom. This is going to curve slightly. And I'm going to fill that in, and I'm going to do the same thing at the top. So I'm going to do the top and the bottom. Just kind of saving time here instead of layering. I'm just going to go ahead and block out the different shapes with their colors. Then we'll come back later and add some other decorative elements that will be very pretty. Okay, and I'm just making sure that I know which egg is right side up, because this one, I want to have a little bit of a tapered bottom like so. Okay, very nice. And I'm going to do the same kind of thing here at the top, but with a curved line going the other direction, okay, giving our egg some sense of roundness. And then I'm going to take that up and into the yellow a tiny bit to get that nice clean line. And look at my Easter eggs coming alive already. So festive and fun. This is sort of like my gingerbread house, just a really fun, very holiday themed activity that's fun to do, whether it be instead of decorating eggs, or also as well as decorating eggs. Super fun. Okay, now I'm going to do orange for the middle part of the egg here. So orange is going to be red and yellow mixed together, kind of more on the side of yellow. Very pretty. Okay, and I'm just going to take that orange right in the center here. Very, very nice. Loving those pastel colors. You could use bold colors as well instead of pastel. And when I first was doing the design this week, I played with some sort of more bold colors and sort of folk art type patterns, but then I did a classic pastel Easter one, and I just thought it was so pretty. I'm a sucker for colors. I love bright colors. And if a painting just is colorful and makes me happy, then I like it. Okay, filling that in and trying the best I can to make sure that that is as egg-shaped as possible. Okay, and I'm just filling in the last little bit of the white canvas over here. Very pretty, just like dyeing Easter eggs. Okay, very nice. And as good as I can there with my outlines. Okay, looking good. And now I'm going to do the egg over here. Then we're going to take a little break for a bit and let things dry. But I'm going to take that orange. I'm going to work over here with that orange as well a little bit. I'm going to do some chevron stripes. That's really going to kind of block everything out for myself. So like so, and then here at the bottom too, I'm kind of mimicking the shape. Okay, that looks good. And now I'm going to kind of thicken that chevron stripe. Okay, and I'm being mindful here of keeping my egg type shape, bringing that color out to the outward lines here on my sketch. Okay, and then the same thing up here. Always kind of starting with a thinner line or a smaller shape, knowing that it's quite easy to adjust, fatten up a little bit, like so, gradually building it. Okay, very pretty. And I think I'm gonna make it a little bit fatter, nice and bold. Okay, looks good. Maybe a little bit fatter here too, trying to make them match. Okay, and then for the bottom part of the egg, let's go ahead and fill it in with some light blue, similar to over here. Gonna have these bottom colors. It really does look nice to use a few different colors in each of these eggs. And we're actually using some complementary colors as well, which is something that my color theory course goes over too. Complementary colors, analogous colors, how to choose color schemes. So I'm using some of those techniques today. I kind of always do. Okay, bringing that blue to meet that orange. Those are complementary colors right there. And then bringing the blue out into the yellow a little bit. And then just filling it in. Okay, so cute. Very Eastery. Okay, just refining that shape as best as I can. And then I'm going to take this same color up top as well. And this is also sort of upside down egg, so a little bit more of a tapered bottom here. Trying to balance the egg on the other side. Surprisingly complex. Amount of thought goes into this. I always take like Easter egg decorating or cookie decorating or gingerbread house decorating really seriously. And I'm like using color schemes and like doing multiple dip processes, and like I'll often decorate my cookies so pretty that I won't eat them. I'll just like, same thing with the gingerbread house, I'll just leave it as a sort of decoration and maybe eat a little bit towards the end when it's all stale, but for the most part it's art to me. People feel differently about that. Okay, getting that all filled in. So pretty. And in that middle little strip there, I'm gonna use my favorite phthalo green. And then we're gonna take a break because we've worked hard on this background step and not much left after break. So we've done a fair amount here, but we do wanna let this layer dry and then add a few more final touches. So I have that phthalo green. Of course, I added a little bit of white as well because I'm working with those Easter colors. Keeping everything pastel, but still vibrant. I think these colors just go really nicely together. Okay. And just getting it as filled in without, blending it together just as I say that. Okay, and trying to keep that egg shape. You can refine your egg as need be. Sometimes it's also good to kind of take a step back and look at your painting, or you can even look at your painting in a mirror or upside down, and that can help you kind of pull out of the tunnel vision zone and see any areas that you feel like you might need to refine. Okay. All right, and then we're just gonna go ahead and let this layer dry, and then we're gonna come back and add a whole bunch more. So I'll see everyone in a few. Okay, welcome back. We have a 99.9% dry background here. Got a little impatient. And we're ready to get painting again. I do have fresh colors on my palette. It is the same primary colors again, plus my phthalo green. So again, yellow, red, blue, a little bit of phthalo green, a fair amount of white, and black again. Let's go ahead and now jump in again with our middle egg, which is going to have beautiful little daisy flowers on it as its little decorative element. So cute. So I'm going to take a little bit of a light yellow, just a pinch of white there into that yellow, and we're going to start with the centers of the flowers. Okay, so these are just going to be like polka dots. And you do want to space them out pretty far because they're going to have their white petals all around. And you want to have lots of room for those petals. You don't want to get too cramped. So kind of creating a little bit of a pattern, but it doesn't need to be exact. Okay, maybe one up there too. Very cute. Okay, now I'm going to grab my white. White only is all you need. And around those beautiful centers, we're going to just do little white petals. So simple and so pretty. Okay, kind of however many you end up with is fine. You want the brush strokes pretty close together, but not so close that they like become one. So distinct little petals here all around your flowers. How cute is that? Super easy and would make a really cute decoration pattern on one's Easter egg in real life as well. So cute. Okay. And there's one area where I went a little bit too close together. So you can always grab a little bit of your background color and kind of sneak that in between there if you'd like. I'm just thinking that's kind of the main foreground flower there, so I'm just gonna clean it up a tiny bit real quick, don't mind me. Whenever you need to adjust, just go ahead and do so. And then I'm just gonna go right back over and just kind of clean it up a little bit. Ta-da! Okay. And again, just kind of anywhere you need to, you can always add a little bit of a second coat or clean up the shape. You don't have to go right along with me. It's best to understand your painting. Your painting is going to be different than mine or whoever it is that you're painting with. That's just our style. How pretty is that? I just love those daisies. Very like kind of flower child, which I love. Okay. And one more. So simple. So spring-like. Okay. And maybe those ones like so. Maybe there's, you know, the side of a daisy there. Okay, so cute. I'm gonna hop over to my egg on the right again, and I'm going to just clean up my orange really quick as well. It's always good to sort of step away sometimes and let your painting dry, and then you can always come back and add a little bit of refinement. And it really goes a long way. Really, it's all the devil's in the details, as they say. And that's really what painting is all about too. Like, every brush stroke is important. So fixing my little mistake from before. Nice. And it doesn't need to be perfect, but I do like things to look kind of neat and tidy. Okay. So cute. Okay. And now, let's see, in my egg over here, I'm gonna add a little bit of what's kind of like a shine on the egg, or like a highlight on either side, like so. So cute. And then I'm gonna take some light yellow right in the middle here. And I'm gonna do just a few little dashes right through the center. And that's gonna be kind of my little accent color on this egg. See how simple it is to pull these together? How pretty. Okay, now I'm gonna take a little bit of black, but I'm gonna kind of swoop around some of these areas like so, and add a little bit of black outline, kind of shadow. You definitely don't need to do this step if you don't want, like so. And then I think on the other side to kind of balance it out, like so. Okay. We're just going to outline that shape, and it just makes it nice and bold. Okay, like so, and then all the way around. So cute. There we go. That just kind of makes everything really pop, I think. Pretty. I think I'll also take that black in here and do a quick outline of my chevron stripes as well. So you don't need to outline every single element, but if you throw some of this kind of shadow color on the main areas, I think it looks really nice. Nice contrast with the pastel colors. So if you have a smaller brush, you're gonna have a little bit more control here, but it's also gonna be a little bit more slow going the smaller of a brush you have. Again, this is totally optional. You don't need to do the outline step. I just think it looks really cute. Okay, now I'm going to outline my pink heart as well. Just being as careful as I can. Go on this outside edge. You could even do this step with a pen. That gives you a little bit more confidence, or a paint pen. Okay, all the way around, keeping my concentration. Usually when I'm by myself painting, I'll get very close to my painting. So if you need to do that to give you a little bit more control, that can be helpful. But I think mostly it's just about bravery. Just gotta try it. And if it's not perfect, that's okay. And you can probably fix it. Okay. Final egg now. Gonna add a little bit more of a secondary color on here first. I'm gonna take some of my green, mix it with a little bit of yellow. I'm gonna make a really pretty, vibrant kind of grass green. Also a little bit of white in there. So pretty. And I'm going to do a stripe here right where these two colors meet. Very nice. And the same thing at the top. Like so. Okay, and then I'm going to do a few of these really pretty shapes here in the center. And the way that I'm going to create them is by kind of like doing a plus sign, but with like curved lines. So they kind of look like stars. They give me a very sort of circus type feel, which I think is so pretty. Like so. Okay. And I'm just going to try to do 3 of those. Like so. And they would kind of curve around the egg and onto the other side there. Like so. So cute. A little bit more green here. Kind of refine the shape. Okay. And that will kind of go on the side there. Like so, adjusting as I go. And you could do really any kind of design that you'd like on any of these eggs. That's what's so fun about this painting. This is totally customizable. And I'm doing these kind of fun, classic, whimsical type designs today. Okay, let's grab a little bit of white now. I'm going to do some really pretty little kind of petals here at the bottom. However many you end up with is just fine. So 4, that's great. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right along the kind of crown of the egg. How cute is that? And I think I'll grab a little bit of light yellow here as well. I'm gonna do just a few little dashes in the center of my green. Like little gems. So cute. And then we can go ahead and take some black into this egg as well. I'm going to outline those shapes there in the center. This is sort of balancing my other egg on the right here. Like so. Okay. Just outlining everything, making it look nice and neat and clean. And I think I'll go ahead and outline these 2 lines as well. And then we are going to outline the outside edge of this egg as the kind of final little step here. Nice. Very cute. Like so, all the way around. You can add any other colors that you'd like as well. I always like to mix maybe a little bit of extra water into my black paint, as it makes it go extra nice and smooth. And I'm using these Grumbacher type paints today, which have plenty of pigment in them to be able to water them down and still use them as nice, vibrant hues. Okay, very pretty. Just being patient. And careful. Okay. Nice, and then this guy needs a little quick outline as well. So pretty. Okay. And I think I'm just gonna do a little bit of cleaning up here as my sort of final touches. Maybe one more little touch of yellow. And these nice and bold highlights. Okay. That looks pretty cute to me. That is all the instruction that I have for everyone for this week's painting. So let me know what you thought of it in the comments section below, and I would love to see you over in the art club. I do hope you enjoyed, and happy Easter, and until next time, stay creative.